Hey guys, it's Charley Raine and welcome to Let's Keep It Real. Today we're going to talk about financial literacy. We're talking about budgeting, savings accounts, checking accounts, how to get a loan, apply for a credit card, just the basic things. Everything that you would need to know and the 101 ways to find out if you don't have somebody else telling you. I like it because, let's be honest, we love being smart with our money because I love having money. So yeah, head on with me and we're going to go check out Ann. Welcome, Ann. Thank you so much for taking the time to just chat with me today. And I am super stoked and a little nervous to talk about money, financial literacy. This is something that I feel like my generation just really actually yearns to learn. So today I just want to kick it off with, as you're kind of aging out of the system and you're looking for money and financial stability, and you get your first job and your paycheck comes in. What do you do?
Oh, well, the first thing is that nowadays most paychecks don't actually come as a paycheck, right? You can sometimes get a physical check that then you got to take to a bank or you take it to a check cashing place.
Okay.
Right? But there's some problems there, right? First off, if you go to a check cashing place, they're going to take a big piece of that check because they want to make sure it's real. There's some risk involved if you've got a fraudulent check, right? So the best thing you can do is open a bank account. And you're thinking, how do I do that? And I'm not some rich person in a three-piece suit. Pretty much every bank out there is going to want to work with you. Most banks, you're going to walk in and sit down and say, I want to open a bank account. You're going to need to know your social security number. And you're going to need a picture ID, like a driver's license. If you don't have a driver's license, that's okay. The state will give you can get an ID card through the state. Which you're going to need for pretty much anything in life anyway, right? You want to return something at Best Buy, they want a picture ID. So if you don't have a driver's license, you can go to the MVA and get that. It's just a state ID. It says this is who I am. You go into any bank, right? You're gonna need your social security number, know your birth date, address, and they'll help you open a bank account. You can actually do a lot of it online, right? With any big bank, you can open a bank account online without ever walking into the bank.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that crazy? You don't even have to talk to anybody.
Oh, I love that. My introvert is just screaming with joy.
I know, me too. I'm the person who checks out myself, so I don't have to talk to people. Let's say you go on to one of the big banks. Most of them are gonna say if you have what's called direct deposit, meaning your company that you work for, your employer, puts that money in your bank account, right, on its own, then there's oftentimes no fees.
Oh, wow.
Or if you have a certain amount of money in the account all the time, there's no fees.
Whoa.
Super cool, right? But here's the catch. I thought I got paid $15 an hour, but there's all of this stuff that has to come out. So you're going to have to pay into what's called Social Security and Medicare, but you're going to pay 7.65%. So if I made $100, $7.65 is going to the government for that.
Why did they take my money?
In this case, they take the money because they say when you're in your 60s or 70s, we're going to give you money back. And then they're also going to take out taxes to the state of Maryland because Maryland needs money to pay for police and fire and roads and schools and everything else that the government does for us.
How much is that?
It's anywhere from 5 to 8%, depending on how much you make. In fact, when you start your job, one of the forms you're going to fill out two, one for the federal government, one for the state. And those say, am I married, am I single, and how many dependents do I have? Do I have like kids? Right? And that affects how much the state and the federal government take out of my paycheck to hold for taxes. I usually recommend pretty much everybody should say I'm single and I have 0 dependents. Because if not, you're not going to have enough taxes withheld. Single, 0. There you go.
Nice.
And then the federal government's also going to take money out. Federal taxes can be 12 to 37%. You get something called a standard deduction when you file your taxes next April. $12,500 that you don't have to pay taxes on. And honestly, I love TurboTax for most people. And if you make under like $50,000, you can actually get tax filing services through the IRS for free. Now then, if you go somewhere like H&R Block or Liberty Tax or one of these, they'll offer you a loan. They'll say, oh, well, you're getting $600 back from the government. We'll give you a debit card right now. Don't do it. It only takes about 2 weeks to get your money direct deposited into your bank account.
Sometimes less.
Exactly. Why would you give them a cut of that? So we got our paycheck. Government took its cut. Rest goes into my bank account. Okay? Usually with a bank account, you're going to have a debit card.
Okay.
Okay? A debit card means when I go and swipe it, right, I use it, that money comes right out of my bank account. And it usually comes out after a day or two.
Okay.
Okay? The thing you need to be careful of is that, well, I went to Chipotle and I swiped my, what's probably now $12, right, to get a burrito. And, oh, it's gone up, right? And then I go to Target and I got to get something else and I got a Giant and I get my groceries, right? Sometimes they haven't cleared yet. Or maybe, and I set up my electricity or something else on auto pay. Or maybe I got a car and I have a car payment and that just comes out. Mm-hmm. And it all hit at the same time. And now I've spent more money than I had in my bank account.
Oh no, what's that called?
That's called an overdraft.
Ooh.
And that's not good. Because your bank is going to not only charge you, but sometimes each of those companies charges you. So it's important that you track what you're spending and how much money you have in your bank account.
Yeah.
But it's important to know, right, and to keep like a list, right, that I've got, this is how much I got in my bank account right now. Well, I just spent $20 at Target and I spent $12 at Chipotle. So I really only have this. But oh, my car payment's coming out. That's $200. One of the things we talk about when we talk about cash flow, and so cash flow is just how much money's coming in, right? And we talk about budgeting, right? Budgeting, it's like diet, right? Diet, I think diet, budget, people think of those as really restrictive terms. Can't have that amount of diet. The simple fact is everybody has a diet. So a budget, people think, oh, I can't, I'm on a budget, I can't spend, I'm budgeting. Budget is just how I'm going to spend my money.
Okay.
And it's making a conscious plan versus just going out to Chipotle. And there's two pieces to it. One is I look at how much can I afford. So in other words, with that, I'm going to make a list.
Do you also add in like savings? Oh, I love that. What percentage would you like recommend, or like how would you recommend somebody going or starting a savings account and like starting to build for their future? Because I mean, just a little can, I know all that, but yeah.
Sure. So I want to circle back to the budgeting in a minute, but we'll answer that question. So ideally, and this is going to sound crazy, and I know y'all are going to think I am absolutely nuts. The ideal, if you were like buttoned up completely on financial stuff, we would say you would want to be able to cover 6 months of living expenses. Now, 6 months of living expenses does not include going out with your friends. It does not include getting your hair cut. It's just I can cover my rent, my car payment, everything for 6 months. That's a lot of money. It does not happen overnight. That takes years to get to. So remember we said you can go online and open a checking account? You can go online and open a savings account. And then you can actually go to your boss or your employer. Usually, most companies will do this. You can split your paycheck. So I can have $5 out of every paycheck go to my savings account. You can set yourself up for success by starting to build. And so you know what? You don't miss that $5. After a couple months, you go back to your boss or HR or whoever and you say, hey, can we change that to $10 a paycheck? And you see what life is like. And then after a little while, maybe you get a raise. And so I got a raise, so maybe I changed that to $15, $20 a paycheck. That budget helps us define what I can afford. How much rent can I afford? How much of a car payment can I afford?
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw in the content that we put out, please be sure to like and subscribe, and then we will catch you all in the next coming videos. Have an awesome rest of your day, and thanks for checking in with us and learning about life skills. Have a good one.